How's it going? It is Friday, the 28th of January 2022, and you're watching KopTalk.tv. Alright, boom, get in there. Finally, we've got something to talk about. Luis Diaz is Anfield bound. Get the fucking... I'm absolutely buzzing. Do you know what, right? I've just done the news article for KopTalk.com, straight away. And just that, like that, just doing something, just have something to talk about. It completely changes everything. And I'm so happy this morning, honestly, guys. You know that on a Friday, I go and see the boys, at 5 o'clock, we go for a few sherbets and that. Today's going to be amazing. I'm really going to enjoy it. So you must have seen the news by now. If you haven't, it's all over, but you can go and look at KopTalk.com if you want. I would look at KopTalk.com because I think there's a little bit more in there, personally. So if you're just waking up and you're like, Dung, what's happening? Right? Basically, we have moved for Porto winger Luis Diaz. Right? He's 25, I think. He wanted to move to Liverpool during this window, right? That's the vibe that we've all been led to believe, if you follow these things closely. He wanted to move to Liverpool, but it wasn't forthcoming until now. Tottenham went in hard, alright. And I think that changed things a little bit because, do you remember, if you follow the podcast, because, we do the podcast more often than the videos because you can sit and waffle about emails and everyone's views and things. But I haven't been making many videos, as you know, because there hasn't been anything to talk about. However, if you follow the podcast or if you're a KopTalk member, you will know that the key word around Luis Diaz throughout the last couple of months, I would say, has been the word prohibitive. That's the word that you would have, if you pay special attention to a certain handful of journalists that do get briefed on certain things when it helps the club, as Rafa would say, for sure. You would know that the key word that was appearing in all of those articles was prohibitive. Trust me, right? You don't usually see that, and I kept seeing it, and you know that that's come from. Well, I don't want to mention any names, but you know that it's come from someone involved in the transfer recruitment side of things at Liverpool. But the term that it was using was prohibitive during the current transfer window, which to me, I don't think it's rocket science if you think about it. But if it's prohibitive during the current transfer window, maybe it's not prohibitive during the next transfer window. So I started to think that we might make a move for him in the summer. However, Tottenham went in. And thanks to Tottenham, they have negotiated the fee down for us, which I think is hilarious, right? So, originally, Porto were holding out for a fee. I'm just reading my own news article here on KopTalk.com. For a fee in the region of £66.5 million. That sounds a bit... Have I done that right? 66, I thought it was 80 million euros. What's that in euros? 66.5 million pounds in euros. It is 80 million, right? Okay. It's right, okay, yeah, right, I'm right. Cause I'm right. It's fucking got DKB on the cap for no reason. Oh, that's it. Right, so let's go back. I'm hyper. So anyway, let's stick with sterling. Porto had been holding out for a fee in the region of 66.5 million, right? But well-placed sources suggest that the asking price has been hammered down to around £50 million, which, if you break that down, is 37.5 million initially, with 12.5 million in add-ons. Now, these are approximate figures because, we deal with euros usually. Liverpool were originally only willing to pay around 30 million for him. Now, something has changed at Anfield for Liverpool to now go, fuck it, we're going for him. All right? So, because it was very quiet. If you're on the KopTalk members website, I posted on there a couple of days ago, discussing things with everybody. I can't remember what it was titled. I think I put bored senseless or something like that. And generally speaking, even in my videos on here that I attempted to do the other day, I was saying to you, do you know what, guys? It's so fucking dull being a Liverpool fan in a transfer window. And it is, right? But even so, I said I'm still holding out some faith. I really didn't think that we would go through this window without doing anything. I just couldn't see how that could happen. The only thing I would suggest that you be cautious about is why something changed at Anfield. And that was in a sentence that was said to me in an email when I woke up this morning. Something changed at Anfield. Now, fearmongers, they might say, oh, it's to do with Salah. And maybe they'd be justified. I don't know. Is it because the Liverpool were like, the boss really wanted him and might have waited, to try his luck in the summer, but it looked like he was going to Tottenham, before Monday. It looked like it was going. Is that what changed? Is that what Liverpool did? Or is it just something a little bit more, like that Liverpool are close to moving somebody out, all right? Not as high profile as Salah. Or a combination of the Tottenham move and players going out because that finances. Do you understand what I mean? Helps finance things. I'm sure we'll find out more about that. But I just want to be very clear about that. It was said to me something changed at Anfield. And I guess maybe that's like not rocket science because, we didn't go in for him and we have. So something has obviously changed. I don't know. There's some mentality. Something's changed. We'll look at that later. It could just be that Tottenham have... forced Liverpool's hand on that front. But this is really good, guys. This really is good. It's quite funny because I went onto his Wikipedia profile earlier and it said he was 90 years of age. So Tottenham fans are already changing things. It says here he's a Martian professional footballer. Everyone's like hijacking his page at the moment. If you don't know Wikipedia, you can go on there, you can edit it and put anything. So you've always got to be cautious with Wikipedia because he's obviously not 90 years of age. That's definitely a no-no for FSG. And he's not a Martian. But usually people edit it and the moderators and the administrators quickly notice the jokers and change things back. So we won't focus too much on his Wikipedia page because I'm sure there's quite a few inaccuracies in there at the moment. But it says that he's been with Porto since 2019. He joined in July 2019 on a 5-year contract, it says, with the club buying 80% of his economic rights for a fee of €7 million. Listen, I'm not going to focus too much on his history because, to be honest with you, I don't know what you're like, how much you get involved in, looking into players and the backgrounds and that. I tend to only really care about what they did at the last club and, how good they are potentially and things like that. So I'm sure if you want to dig deep into these things, I don't care, to be honest with you. I know he's a good player, so I just want him to get that Liverpool shirt on his back as soon as possible. He's played for Colombia, obviously. 31 caps, it says here, and he played for the under-20s Colombia as well. One more thing. According to Transfer Market, what did they put his valuation down? £36 million estimated value. So that, it's around about what's happening really. They've got his primary position down as left midfield, but he can play left winger. He can play on the right. Very versatile in that regards. Right-footed, it says. And who's his? Does it mention his sponsor? I don't see if he's associated. Who he's associated to? I don't see that. Like his kit, his boots or whatever. I'm just looking at his agency, and there is no obvious connection there. With his agency, no the Liverpool players on his books or other players that we've been linked with, and that's very important. I always check that because sometimes I think his player agent, it says here, is Nomi Sports, Nomi. I haven't had a look at their website. Obviously, I've just seen that information now. But sometimes when you see, a player linked with us or we're signing a player, then I like to see if there's a connection to an existing Liverpool player, maybe already with us, and also if we've been linked with any other players or at the same agency. And that happened, just doesn't matter, it happened a while ago with all them Norwich players, if you remember, when we were linked with loads of them. So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted. I'm delighted. I'm still fast asleep, to be honest with you. But, I can't explain this to you guys. I'm here every day. Every day I want to make videos. Every day I want to talk about Liverpool. I get disheartened when nothing's happening. FSG suck the enthusiasm out of me. And just that little bit of, I don't want to say like excitement. I'm not like a 13, 14-year-old, buzzing my tits off. I will be tonight when I've had a few drinks. But it's just like, we all want us to go out and sign Mbappe and Haalands and all those sort of players in the world. But I think the majority of us are realists and we just want to see us like competing. That's it, just competing. yes, we want to win everything, but we can't win everything, and we have to work within our means and things like that, especially under these owners. But for me, it's like just compete. That's all I want from the owners is just compete. Give the manager as much support as possible, which I don't think they do. But that's a discussion that we've done over and over again. Now, listen. This might be a bit of like, what you're going to see today is you're going to see all these Twitter ITK twats or whatever they are. They were on potties when I started KopTalk, by the way. They're going to come out and tell you now, they're going to claim the deal is done, right? Because it's a bit of common sense, right, really? It's very, very unlikely that this is going to fall through. Don't listen to them, all right? Nobody said this deal's done. Nobody has said the deal is done to me yet, and it's very early on Friday morning at the moment. However, someone close to the player that I would say is credible, I don't know them personally, they have said the deal is done, all right? Now, whether you want to believe that or not, that's up to you. I'm not saying it's done. I think it is because of that person's contribution. I have seen what they've said, and they said it's done, all right? You could say, be cautious, it's never done until it's officially announced. We have seen before, haven't we, deals. What was he called? What was that? Fakir. That's it, Fakir. I'll probably get my video flagged now for swearing. You're allowed to swear, but you've just got to declare if you're swearing or not. And every video I do, even if I'm not swearing, I just tick, profanity, just probably is. We saw that, we saw the handshake with Bowyer and Gerard Houllier many years ago at Melwood. Handshaking, deal done, all over the newspapers, the back pages, but it didn't happen. So it's never done until there is an official announcement on the offal, and the offal is the nickname we gave to the official LFC website back in the day. I personally think the deal is done, all right? So there you go, you can enjoy your weekend. Look, but I can't say it's done, but it's done. Come on, you know what I'm saying? But I can't wait to message my Spurs supporting friends. I got all two of them, three actually, because they've helped. If this goes through, they negotiated the deal down for us, which is amazing. Now maybe that's what changed. Maybe someone just got in touch with Michael Edwards and said, should we go for him? Because they've done all the work, you know what I'm saying? So brilliant news. I'm really excited, guys. It doesn't solve everything, and there are question marks certainly surrounding Salah, but it lifts the mood a little bit, and we all like a lift on, don't we, guys?